in the first film, there was I thought that both films are working within very strictly self-defined parameters. So in the second film you have what people are shooting and their voices. In the first film you have more of a sense of where the people who are looking at the stuff are, because you have the control room, you have their interactions. Yeah. But there's one interesting little jaunt which happens, which is a departure from that self-imposed framework. I was wondering about that, because where you go out into the streets in the first film and you look at all the cameras, camera number 31, camera number 25 and so on. And I was kind of expecting that, because there was that detour or that departure, I was wondering whether you try to do more with that and haven't included it. Like, I was wondering whether you would now look at those cameras looking at you. In the street looking at that camera. So
we have the footage. They're all looking at us. What we did in the Manchester Arndale Mall actually looks at ourselves and other participants under CCTV footage. It is the part 2. It's the twin of this. Maybe we'll come back and screen it at some point, or we can send you links. There were 280 cameras inside the mall. Okay, so this is not street surveillance, this is private surveillance in this mall with this history.
The mall which are streets, like literally street names of what used to be the streets, they are now inside the mall because the mall is so big. So they call them by their old street names.
Which is Exchange Square and the Cotton Exchange and all these historical things in Manchester. And Cheetham Library, where Condition of the Working Class in England was written and so on, is all cut into the mall.
So they are referred to by their old town names.
In the text, the camera feed will say Old Exchange Square, but it's the escalator of the mall. I mean,
probably
it's
true
like,
for some of the mill things.
Yeah, probably.
It's a good way to memory museum.
Yeah. So the idea there was, since we were working with the young people, and in that project we really worked with the young people's program of Corner House, and that part. The other one had participants who signed on openly. We especially if you're filming in America or the UK, you need these image release forms. It's a really perverse thing. Then you sign off your soul, right? This camera and this filmmaker got my soul. You can use it. So we concatenated the image release form along with the Data Protection Act. And Steve alludes to it. He says there is this Data Protection Act in the UK, and if you feel you are being spied on and followed, you're well within your rights to ask for the footage. Nobody really knows about this. You have to give a £10 processing fee and you can get it. And neither do the CCTV operators. So it's a very... But we highlighted this. They have to, you can't 10 seconds.
Following their ex-girlfriends around. And because all the boys are locals. The guy, he was a DJ in the local club. And, so they're all hired because they know the space. And so obviously they'll have personal relationships as well. And
yeah. No, that's true, but now I forgot what I was
saying. So the image release form.
Image release. So we should end. We concatenated that thing, saying, you actually can... we combined the traditional documentary image release form with conditions in the Data Protection Act, so that when we spoke to people, they were aware that this thing exists. And then we said, we want to ask the mall for this footage. And can you perform in it? And can we then make a claim saying 100 people signed the form, give us all the footage for the day? So we actually through this crazy thing where we were being followed by the cameras and people were, the mall, they were still filming in the mall, in the control room. But then people who agreed said, follow me for the next 10 minutes. I'll do what I want. So this became a thing with close to 100 people signing. Maybe we followed 10 or 15 who agreed. And we have incredible footage from inside, and there's already chapter 1 done, and it was an attempt to tell the history of, it was called Capital Circus because it's in the mall, and it's a history, telling the history of Manchester through these images, which begins with Condition of the Working Class but goes to punk and women's lib and punk and so on. So that's the dome camera, which we said looks like a dead light. And of course, because it's not wired into an infrastructure or drilled into a ceiling, we had that wooden box. That's it on the Hanoun family, the 150 meter. So it's on their neighbor's roof and looking at the house, which is here. So it was like this in 8 different locations. If we had a picture of Haifaz, you'd see the cameras watching because that's really the Wailing Wall. She's the only Arab living that close to it.
And just one small comment we are overshooting some people's time, but maybe not. This
yeah.
question, and this is not to kind of run away from the fact that we are making films or any such thing, but definitely in the first case, I mean, we just feel like there's this whole landscape between what people do with, say, cameras in a more general, or what police does and so on, and the film that an author could produce, right? So there's a lot of space in between those things. And so I guess I'm saying that to call the first film a film is already quite a lot, because we are working, as Shaina said, the project as we had imagined it, that was highly kind of articulated, happened in Manchester. And then, of course, there are different phases of this. One has to be able to share it with other people and so on. But to call all these experiments films also loads them too heavily, perhaps on that kind of having to respond to that as a challenge. And while we definitely are taking it on with the second film, which we are not saying that the first film was designed as a film in the sense it was the constraints of being a kind of document of what happened in that room. At the same time, of course, it has certain cinematic moments, but the point is that there is a kind of landscape, there is a slightly grey area which we'd like to explore, and which is also, we think, fertile between saying we made a film and we made a video and we made
a work
and we made a event, and all these can have interesting things to say to each other without saying, oh no, this is work in progress. No, it's not work in progress. We are not saying but at the same time there's a little bit of space between the cinematic expectation and the artistic installation and where we are trying to work, and I think it's quite a fertile space at the moment.
What happened to the 8 families?
What?
Their houses?
Yeah.
The families, what?
So all of the current houses are there. The houses that were shown, they are there. The ones that were
Kawi and Hanoun.
Kawi and Hanoun, Sheikh Jarrah, the last sequence, many of those houses have
28
gone.
houses.
I think 1 or 2 remain. Sheikh Jarrah has become a kind of model of how to take over houses.
It's called slow transfer.
So there have been various methods of basically.
It's an affluent
proving
part
that-
of East Jerusalem. And these houses were given to them by the UN. So they have all patra for it. They have papers. But such as the Israeli.
The Israeli authorities in that case have found previous, like from the Ottoman period, saying ki ye patra, this is not old enough, and therefore, but as far as I know, the other houses that were filmed from are still there. I don't know if you know anything else.
But I mean,
Are still there, as in they are still.
Mahmoud Jidda, who speaks in one of the
Palestine.
things, his NGO Nadal was shut down. So the one who says, when I make the political tours, they see me on a camera, and then they arrive there in the old city. We left behind some small cameras for some of the families.
I think if one has to just, understand more of what they're doing, you have to just go to the sites, Padma and Indie Cinema, and you'll get a sense of what exactly is happening. As Ashok rightly said, this is just part of the entire project. It's just one part of the big project which is happening, So, anyway, I think we'll just call it quits over here.
Yes.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Thanks for
Pankaj.
coming, and thanks for this wonderful discussion. Thank you.
Thank you.